People. Que pasa, say what they do. Now, what is trending in the news? We see that reggae girl we are speaking about, Tarania Clarke, was recently slapped away by a friend / girlfriend in BR3. She was juked by a sharp object. And now this video is not about just basically what happened, but the ripple effects and the effect that it is having on her family, financially, economically. Because the truth and the fact is that the mother did an interview the other day and she said that she is devastated, she is traumatized because of the whole incident, because this girl was a person that was a peacemaker. She was a lovable person, and even though they did not have a very good lifestyle, that means that they were mostly used to poverty, the daughter would understand, and that there were many nights when they went to bed or she went to bed and just go up on her phone, up on social media, no dinner, no breakfast in the morning. So she kind of understood the situation and she had hopes, because due to the fact that she was a big time soccer player, she went to Excelsior High School, and that is one of the better schools in Jamaica for schoolgirl football, and she was a star athlete there. She actually played for 3 seasons in which she was a captain, and they won on her last season there. So we saw that she was a budding superstar in the soccer or football if you live in America. So anyway, the purpose of this video is the ripple effect of what happened and the tragedy that is involving all of this. So like me say, this girl was a budding superstar. She was offered a scholarship, and this was based on an interview that the coach for the Reggae girls, his name is Hugh Mendes, yes. He did an interview and he said that he had arranged a scholarship for her for a junior college in Florida, I think in Daytona to be specific. And she was actually supposed to leave in January. So people, we're there in November right now, first or second day in November. So we are speaking about she came 2 months short of fulfilling a dream. And when I say I am speaking about the ripple effect that this incident is going to have, I am talking about the fact that she was getting a full scholarship. That means that she get room, board, food, book, everything, the whole 9 yards. And basically all she had to do is use her talent and pay for that scholarship. And we saw that it could have manifested in her being a professional soccer star, football star if you live in America. And like me say, once you're in the US school system, you are basically in that group where people kind of pick from. We are speaking about the professional women's soccer league in America or Europe or anywhere else in the world. That is one of the places that they pick these athletes from. So we see that she had a good chance, because like me say, this girl is 20-year-old and she is one of the best schoolgirl players from out of the high school system in Jamaica. So therefore she had big potential. So like me say, she could have gotten a scholarship. Well, she got a scholarship, but she also would have possibly made it to the professional league. That means that she couldn't get paid. So that is one of the ripple effects. Like I said, she could have taken her family out of poverty if she get a scholarship and she was paid. Because the truth and the fact is that being an athlete, being a professional athlete, pays better than most jobs that you could have got or get in Jamaica, because we are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, US dollars. So like me say, if everything work out in the best case scenario and everything work out like I thought that it would, based upon the fact that she's a very talented, she's a gifted athlete, she would have been one of the top soccer players in the world. That means I wouldn't expect her to get some sort of professional contract, and she would have definitely taken her family out of the situation there, desolate, poverty-stricken situation that they are presently in. So when I speak about the ripple effects, I am talking about something that basically devastates this family. Because remember, even though she was only 20, she was said by the family to be the breadwinner. That means that this girl, she go out on the street, whether she get a little money, because remember, you know, she's not a professional athlete as yet. But she hustle because remember, she is playing for the Reggae girls and they are one of the top teams in the Caribbean, in the West Indies. And we see that they are one of the nations that represented the Caribbean. We are talking about Jamaica, we are talking about the Reggae girls. So therefore, they had a lot of eyes looking on them and a lot of purses, a lot of the players, a lot of the females from the team. They were playing for professional sports or professional teams all over the world. Me I talk about in Asia, me I talk about in Europe, in England, all over the place. So the moral of the story is this: Jamaica is one of those places that professional teams are looking to for athletes. We are talking about top athletes. We are talking about top soccer player, football player, Rete and Lele. And she was one of the youngest and one of the brightest. So therefore the skies was the limit. So that means that she had a whole lot of potential. She had a very bright future ahead of her. And her dreams was cut short by at least 2 months. Point blank and period. So anyway, people, like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. So the next thing that is popping in the news, before I move to the next story, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source, one word. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the US Embassy kind of revoke some visa as some politician and some popo and some business person, some people were big in the business field. And people, like we say, nobody really knows. Everybody confused. Everybody dazed and confused right now. Even the politician. We are talking about the Minister of Security. We are talking about all of them people. Everybody kind of surprised. Now when we think about the whole situation and why what happened, we have to understand that Jamaica is very notorious for the corruption that exists in the country. And people, this corruption has been going on for decades. May I talk about from Manley and Siaga time up until now. Nothing has basically changed. So therefore, you know that we live in an information age. That means that people, we are talking about specifically America. Now remember, you know, America considers itself as the police of the world. So therefore, them kind of clamp down on everything, specifically them visa. So therefore, if they think that you as a person or you as a politician in some other country kind of corrupt or kind of thief or have some question signs on your name, so if them kind of hear anything like that, whether it is true or false, if it sounds like it is true or them feel like something in a something, the first thing they are going to do is revoke it while them kind of analyze their situation. So in the case of Darrell Vaz and Paul, well, I think his name is an ex-minister, them basically revoke them to visa. Those are the two most known politicians, visa that were revoked. Now people, when you really think about these politicians and some of the moves that they have made and why they actually go into politics, we have to ask ourselves the question, is it for the people? Is it because of their concern and their caring and compassion for the people of Jamaica and specifically the poor people? Or did they actually go into politics for their own self-interest? That means for going into politics to get rich, for rip and run off with the money at the end of the day after retirement. And when we really think about it and think about what we've seen over the past couple of decades, we see everybody going into politics for their own self-interest. Now when we really think about the case of Mr. Darrell Vaz, a person that was a US citizen and basically renounced his citizenship, that means him prefer to be a Jamaican citizen so him can take part in the landscape of the politics in Jamaica. So therefore it seems like the political thing more lucrative than for actually give up his US citizen. Now people, let me ask you this question in the comment section. Would you give up your US citizenship to become a part of the political landscape in Jamaica, that means you have ulterior motive. That means that you see that it is lucrative. That means that you saw it in your best self-interest to be a part of the political landscape of Jamaica instead of being a US citizen where you can travel back and forth to basically any country in the whole wide world. So people, we have to ask ourselves the question. We have to put some question sign and ask, what is his motive? What is his ulterior motive? Why he gave up that citizenship? And we have to also remember that Darrell Voss is not the only person, the only Jamaican or the only politician that has renounced his US citizenship. And we have to also remember that there are other persons or other politicians that were involved in the private sector. We are talking about in the banking sector. We are speaking about in some sectors or some parts of business that was very lucrative, where they were making millions and millions of Jamaican and US, and then basically stop that for going to politics. Now people, we have to ask ourselves the question, what is their motive? What is the ulterior motive? It is because politics pays. It is because it is the biggest scam in a Jamaica, point blank and period. It is not about the people. It is not about making Jamaica better. It is all about getting rich. It is all about scamming and shamming. It is basically all about the rip and run off and then retire a very rich person in some first world country, point blank and period. So anyways people, like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.